Hi guys, it's me, Carrie, and we are back with part 2 of my Q&A. Thank you so much to Haley and Loretta for the questions you submitted. I am going to try to finish Loretta's questions and get into some from my friend Beth. They were the only 3 who submitted so far, but it's not too late because I may not do all of them today. So if you have questions, feel free to submit them on as comments on this video, and I will be sure to answer them as soon as possible because I love filming videos like these. I think they're fun to watch and fun to film. Okay, next question from Loretta was, do you play or watch any sports? As a kid, I played soccer. Currently, I do not play anything. I walk around, and that's about all the exercise I get. Like, I'm not even taking walks for exercise at this point. I definitely should be. I've chunked up significantly during COVID, and I wasn't petite to begin with, or svelte, I should say. Petite is height, svelte. I was not thin. I haven't been thin since I was a little girl. I was like a stick when I was a kid, and to have that body back now. But I do not play any sports, but I do like to watch sports. I watch pretty much well, I don't watch a lot of sports during the Olympics, which I'm really stoked because the opening ceremonies are airing tonight. They've already taken place in where is it, Tokyo, but they're airing in the States tonight, so I will be watching that with my husband. Sorry, itchy ankle. So during the Olympics, we watch all kinds of things that we wouldn't typically during the course of the regular year. In general, the only sports I watch, and less so now than I used to because I don't know the athletes the way I used to, but figure skating, I absolutely adore figure skating. It's my favorite sport, no question. I'm not good at it. I've only skated, I think, 3 times in my life, and I'm just not good on blades whatsoever. But I love it. I think it's so beautiful and athletic and amazing, and I just adore figure skating and gymnastics. I love to watch gymnastics. That's what I'm most stoked for in the Olympics. So those are the things I watch mostly. Occasionally I watch World Cup soccer, the women's team, because I just find it more interesting to watch the women. That's just a me thing. And that's really about it. I mean, I'll watch Super Bowls and World Series sometimes, if there's a New York team in it, or, like, I mean, the Super Bowl, most people, I guess, have that on even as background noise, just, for the commercials. Although last year we couldn't care less. I don't even think we turned it on at all. But yeah, I'm not really a big sports fan, except during the Olympics. I will watch curling in the Winter Olympics. I will watch anything under the sun in the Summer Olympics. If there's Olympics on, I just get caught up in the Olympic spirit and American pride and go Team USA. So I will watch pretty much anything during the Olympics, but during the rest of the year, just figure skating and gymnastics. And like I said, that not even all the time because I don't know the athletes. I'm not as familiar with them because I'm getting old. I like the old school athletes. What's my favorite TV show, and what was my favorite TV show when I was a kid? My favorite TV show is technically MST3K, I'm sure, because I watch those movies constantly. If you're not familiar, Mystery Science Theater 3000. It was hosted originally by Joel Hodgson playing Joel Robinson. Then Mike Nelson took over playing, oh surprise, Mike Nelson. And then they tried to do a third version with Jonah Ray, which props to the team. I actually kickstarted it, but I don't really like the revival that much. I think they just got renewed for more episodes on Netflix, which is cool. But and I'll watch them eventually. I haven't even finished the second Netflix season because it just doesn't work for me the way it used to. Like, I can't even distinguish between the Crow and Servo voices, and if you don't know the show, that's not going to make any sense to you at all, but just Google it. But MST3K is my go-to. As far as contemporary current shows, I'm pissed as hell that ABC canceled Rebel because it's a brilliant show. They are rerunning it now on IMDb TV, if you have that. Katie Sagal, the brilliant Katie Sagal, is the star. Andy Garcia is in the cast. It's a wonderful cast, a brilliant story based on the later years of Erin Brockovich, like after the movie took place. But it's a fantastic show, and Rebel fans are keeping hope alive that another channel, even if it goes directly to IMDb TV, will pick it up for a second season, because it's absolutely brilliant. The writing, the acting, the directing, just everything is spot on. It's so fantastic. ABC is on drugs. I don't know what the hell they were thinking in canceling it, but I really love Rebel too. Growing up, from the time I was 12, my favorite show from the beginning of its run, just about, I started watching maybe 6 months into the run until the end, even though it was really shitty by the end, was the soap opera Santa Barbara. I adored Santa Barbara. It was just my everything. I was such a lonely kid and so unhappy. Like, the highlight of my day would be getting to come home from the misery of school at 3 o'clock and plant my ass in front of NBC for an hour and hang out with the Capwells and the Lockridges and the whole gang. I grew up idolizing Eden Capwell, played by Marcy Walker. She was like goals on every level. Like, I just was like, oh, I want to be beautiful like her, and I want to have a love story like her, and I want to be strong and brave like her. And I don't know, judge for yourself if any of that happens. But yeah, that was my favorite as a little kid. Like cartoons and stuff, I loved Josie and the Pussycats. That rocked my socks. That was really good. All of those, like the Hanna-Barbera stuff, and they were just great. But Josie was my fave. Okay, we're almost through Loretta's questions, and thank you for submitting so many, Loretta. I think that's awesome. Favorite brand of lip balm and some of my favorite flavors or scents. Okay, my favorite brand, not necessarily for customer service, because to be honest, their customer service leaves a little to be desired. But as far as just giving me emotional feels and the best flavor, because I like, being able to lick my lips, and, not that you're supposed to lick your lips a lot. That gives you chapped lips. But I love lip smackers. I do. I love them. They are a childhood favorite that I still love. My favorite flavor is Dr. Pepper. Terry, if you're watching this by any chance, it may make you giggle. There's a reference to Dr. Pepper lip smacker in my book. But yeah, that's my very favorite lip balm of all time. Maybe not the most effective one for like treating chapped lips and stuff, but I love them. I love chapstick. I love Taste Beauty. I love... gosh, I for as many as I've collected over the years, I've not really been into lip balm in a while, so I can't even think right now. I should have prepared, but yeah, we'll go with those three. We'll go with lip smackers and chapstick and Taste Beauty. Oh my God. Oh, what's the new one? Oh shit. A friend gifted me a bunch, and they're so good. Oh, and I'm blanking on the name. Oh, crap. I can't think of the name. I will post it in the comments, but there's another brand that I was recently introduced to, and I adore them, and I can't think of what it is. It's more of an indie brand. Shit. I'm so sorry. If it comes to me later on, I will mention it, but I will post it in the comments, though. I'll go check my stash when I go upstairs. Okay, and I think this is the last question from Loretta. Favorite author? I have to say J.D. Salinger, because my favorite book of all time is Catcher in the Rye. But contemporary authors, again, I love The Virgin Suicides. I mentioned in the last video that I love that movie. I love the novel as well, so Jeffrey Eugenides. Although I'm being honest, I haven't liked his other work. I tried to read, crap, I am having such brain farts today. Oh, he wrote a book. The book he wrote, I think, right after The Virgin Suicides. It's very critically acclaimed. A lot of people really love it. And can't think of the name of it, but I couldn't get into it at all. And then I read another book of his called The Marriage Plot, and it was kind of meh for me. So, I mean, not necessarily a favorite author then, I guess, because I really only liked one of his pieces. Same with Jay McInerney. I really I liked Bright Lights, Big City, and I really liked Story of My Life, until I realized that the character of Allison Poole was based on a real person, and then I kind of was like, you know, kind of lost something for me after that. So I'm going to go with J.D. Salinger. Okay, and that is all from Loretta. Thank you again so much for so many wonderful questions. And now we're going to jump into some questions from my awesome friend Beth. I call her Bethy, but her name is Beth. Okay, number one, what song is currently on repeat for you? This may be very surprising because I am not typically a fan of classical music at all. I mean, I don't hate any type of genre. Like, there's basically, I can find something enjoyable in just about every genre of music. You know, there are certainly genres I listen to a lot more than others. Classical is not generally what I go with. And my P is hanging weirdly. I don't know why it always does that. It flips upside down, and now my E is weird. Okay, sorry, that was just bothering me. But in spite of that, my favorite song that's currently on repeat is Anytime, Anywhere by Sarah Brightman. I don't know what it is about that song. It's just hypnotic. It's sexy and it's beautiful. The vocal is just so compelling and gorgeous, and it's just hard for me not to just play it over and over and over again. And I don't actually I don't own it digitally. I need to just go ahead and buy it, but I'll play it on YouTube and then rewind, you know, just swipe left and play it again, and swipe left and play it again, because I don't know how to play a song on repeat on YouTube. I don't know if that's even something you can do, but I absolutely adore that song. I remember hearing it for the first time on vacation, I think, with my mother in Mystic, Connecticut. I'm almost positive, and Shazamming it, just being like captivated. I was in like a really cool new agey store, you know, with candles and incense and all kinds of wonderful books and, you know, tapestries and things, you know, the kind of store I definitely vibe on. And I heard this song and I was like, what the hell? This is gorgeous. And I Shazammed it, and that's what it was. If you've never listened to it, I highly suggest that you do, even if you're not a classical music fan. It's contemporary classical, and it's just, it's breathtaking. It's so amazing. It's hypnotic for me. I absolutely adore it. Okay, question 2. What is one thing you're proud of younger Carrie for, and current Carrie? Wow, that's a really, really great question. Proud of younger Carrie for... Honestly, probably the same thing I'm proud of current Carrie for, still being alive, to be honest. I've definitely had suicidal thoughts throughout my life, many, many, many times. I've never made an attempt just because I'm chicken shit, but there have been many times that I have wanted to die, that I've wished to, you know, I've prayed to God, as I understand him, her, it, to just have me not wake up the next morning. Like, could you please just take that decision out of my hands and let me not be alive anymore? And I did ultimately make my husband and my mother a promise that I would never make any attempts to harm myself in that way, and I never have, but I've definitely had the thoughts many, many, many times, starting at a really early age. I mean, I can't pinpoint specifically when it began, but I know that I was so troubled at like age 7 that my mom took me to see my first therapist. So, and I came from an intact family, parents married, happy home, no violence or abuse of any kind, which I'm obviously immensely grateful for. You know, we had our issues the same as any other family, but nothing in particular triggering that would warrant a 7-year-old going to therapy. Just fucked up brain chemistry. So I'm proud of little Carrie and big Carrie in every sense of the word for persevering. Not to be cheesy, but that's why persevering is in my name, because I've fought through a lot and overcome a lot, and I haven't given up yet. I've come damn close, but I haven't given up yet. So I think that would be the answer to both of those questions. All right, what is something you always have to do on vacation other than searching for your name on keychains, etc.? Because yes, I told Bethy years ago, I like to collect anything like with my name on it, like, and there are so few things with my name on it spelled like, you know, Kari. That's just not common. I've been told that it's a Scandinavian name, so like if I went to like Switzerland or Norway or something, I would probably find shit with my name on it everywhere. They pronounce it Kari there, but it's with my spelling, that name is quite common. But here in the States, there's like nothing. The only thing I ever find are license plates. And I have a couple of like metal license plates that are about this big. In fact, I just bought another one about a week and a half ago when I was in the city. I have 3 different styles of New York plate with my name on it. And then I have a California one and I think a smaller one that just is San Francisco. And then I actually don't collect the keychains so much as the zipper pulls. Like they make little keychains of license plates that are about this big, and they are like proper keychains, and little bitty ones, like almost like that. I mean, they're not round, they're square. I mean, they're rectangular, but they have those in different states, and I love when I find those. I think I have like 7 because I haven't been that many places, and many of the places I've been haven't had them there either. So I'm always on the lookout for those. I'll have to post a picture on my Instagram of my little zipper pull collection so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. And if you have them in your state, let me know, because I would buy one from you because I would really love to have more for my collection. Not that I need to be collecting things. Again, I'm really trying to not collect anything else. I still buy CDs when I go to the thrift store because I love music, and that will just never not be a thing. And I do like having physical media. Number one, because I just like, I'm tactile. I like to hold it in my hands, and I like reading liner notes and stuff like that. And I love when the lyrics are included too, so I can belt it out in my bathroom, locked in by myself at night. And pins. I do still collect pins, trading pins, you know, like the metal pins that go on like a corkboard or whatever, or that you can wear, but I generally don't because I'm always afraid I'm going to lose them. But what do I always have to do on vacation? I haven't really been on a vacation in a long time other than conventions. I go to horror conventions. We used to go 2 times a year pretty much routinely. We are going to another one next month. We did go to Hershey Park last year, which was fun, but we haven't really taken a lot of vacations other than trips to cons, and they're basically just, you know, road trips to Jersey or Pennsylvania. And my mom and I go to Mystic, Connecticut every fall. We've done that for about the past 5 or 6 years, and a few times prior, but not consecutive years. What do I always do? Buy a bracelet, probably. That's like just such a great souvenir, and they're usually pretty affordable. And even though as I've said ad nauseum, I have too much shit, or pin. I like to just buy one simple souvenir at least, and I'm trying really hard not to go beyond that now. But yeah, and I can't even think of what else. No, I honestly can't think of what else I have to do. Okay, number 4. What's your favorite meal your husband makes? And she said in parentheses, sorry, I can't remember if you say his name on YouTube, so I'll leave it out. But that was very thoughtful, by the way. But yes, I do say Brian. Brian is an excellent cook. He's amazing. He's completely self-taught. He wanted to go to culinary school, and we actually toured the French Culinary Institute in New York that is now called something else. I can't remember what the current name for it is. But basically to go to that school would have cost like what a 4-year college degree would have cost, and it was not financially doable for us, which is really sad. But he's an amazing self-taught chef. I say chef because I think even though he's self-taught, he's just beyond a cook. He's so talented. I love everything he makes, but some of my favorite things, just because it's one of my favorite meals in life, I love when he makes corned beef and cabbage with boiled potatoes. Oh, so delicious. I love his shepherd's pie, although Gordon Ramsay would say technically it's cottage pie because it's not made with lamb. That's a terrible Gordon Ramsay accent, but he makes it with either beef or ground turkey. Generally ground turkey now because it's better for you, even though it's a little more expensive. It's so delicious. Oh, he makes a great shepherd's pie. He does a meal that I grew up, my father was also a really good cook. My mother is not, and neither am I. We didn't inherit the cooking genes. We just were wise enough to marry men who cook. But my father made this wonderful meal. He would cook it in the crock pot. It would just pork with sauerkraut and fresh apples. And oh my God, it's so yummy. Brian makes that for me sometimes because he knows I love it. He makes an excellent meatloaf. Really, there's nothing, though, that he makes. He's been experimenting more. He's been making like shrimp teriyaki and I don't know, it just everything he makes is wonderful. He makes the most fabulous turkey dinner, and we don't just do it for Thanksgiving. We do it at least once or twice more a year, like full-on turkey with all the trimmings, and that's delicious too. My favorite meal in life is corned beef and cabbage with potatoes, so I'm gonna say that it's my favorite. But damn, shepherd's pie comes awfully close, and his turkey meatloaf is just so good. But yeah, everything he makes is wonderful. If you're blessed enough to get to eat Brian's cooking, you could testify. All right, where am I? Lost my spot. Okay, number 5. What was your least favorite subject in school? That's easy. It was math. I hated math. Math never made sense to me. It still doesn't. I am just horrible at it. I'm so grateful that there's like a calculator on my phone so that I can figure out tips. I mean, I know some tricks, like, take 10% of the total and then just double it or whatever, or half it, depending on how good the service is. Because I'm going to be perfectly honest. I will tip 15% on the nose if your service is shit, or even less. And I know servers work really hard, and I know servers sometimes have bad days. And I think I can generally, because I'm very empathetic, I can tell when someone's just having a really bad day, or if they're just not good at their job and don't give a fuck. Like, I can usually tell the difference. You can just, emotionally, I sense it. If somebody's just having a shitty day and they're stressed out, I certainly don't tip badly. But I will give the standard 15%. I have no qualms about that if the service is just fair to middling. I don't, I'm not a big tipper unless it's warranted. But if your service is good, believe me, I will tip you very generously. And and I will even seek out management to say, to give you kudos if you're an excellent server, because I think people that put in the extra effort really deserve that acknowledgement. In fact, I had a wonderful lunch yesterday with my friend Terry, and our server was fantastic, and I tipped well, but I should have actually asked to speak to the manager. I didn't even think of it at the time because I was just so caught up in having fun with my friends. But in retrospect, I wish I had actually sought out management and said, this girl is something. Hang on to her. She's really wonderful, because she was so lovely, so attentive, but not overbearing like how some servers can be. She was really just attentive and friendly and prompt, and refilled our drinks frequently and checked on us and let us basically have the table as long as we liked because it wasn't busy. But even some places that aren't busy, they want to turn over those tables. And I don't understand, when you've got plenty of other tables, it looks better to have more people in the restaurant. So I don't really understand that. But she was like, oh my gosh, once you pay your check, even sit here and talk as long as you like. And we were probably in the restaurant for 2.5 hours, and I could have stayed all day. It was just that pleasant an experience, not just being with my friend, but being in that comforting environment and knowing that she was so lovely. So this is why I hate math. Carrie's brain gets derailed easily. But yeah, I hated math. I did well in all of my classes for the most part. A's and B's. If I had been in classes at my own grade level, I probably would have had all A's. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying it because it's a fact. But I was in all of the classes I took up until my senior year were the grade level above mine. They didn't formally move me up a grade, but basically I was in the accelerated program, which meant that, in 7th grade I was doing 8th grade work, 8th grade I was doing 9th grade work, yada, yada, yada. So by senior year, the only year it would have mattered when I was taking AP classes and getting college credit for them, that was when I rebelled and said, fuck this shit. I've worked so hard. The only AP I took was English, and I said, fuck the rest. I took a second semester of typing because I thought that would be a better life skill, first of all, than a lot of this other shit, and I just wanted an easy ride for my senior year. I'd never had an easy ride in school ever. So I was like, you know what? No, I'm not doing this anymore. And I put my foot down, and it was the only year that it would have made a difference, because I actually got 6 college credits alone just for taking AP English. Who knew? But anyway, yeah, math, my mind is not like, they talk about like left brain and right brain, and whichever side of the brain is the creative side, that's the side where the juices are flowing, and I'm, and I'm interested. Math is a lot of memorization, and I suck at that. And I don't know, some people like math because it has like finite solutions. I like to think outside the box, so I'm definitely not a math girl at all. All right, I hope I can finish these in the next 5 minutes, because I have like 8 minutes. I don't want to have to do a third part. I'm going to try to be a little quicker. All right, number 6. What was one impactful moment with a teacher or other non-relative adult when you were younger? And then she said in parentheses, I've tried rewording this to make it read better, and I give up, it's late. It reads fine. It reads perfectly fine. I can't think of a specific moment, but my first grade teacher, Mrs. Betty Nair, rest in peace, she was outstanding. It was in first grade that I was actually academically tested to see if I qualified to be moved up a grade and skip directly into second grade. And I think honestly, because of my emotional issues, they didn't move me up. But I was considered bright for my age or whatever, and like a lot of times I would be doing classwork ahead of my other classmates. Like I'd complete the work that they were working on, so she'd give me like side projects, which often involved reading, which I loved because I was a voracious reader from the time I was 3, and I was self-taught. Basically, PBS taught me how to read. That's a little aside, and I won't get into that now because I'm running out of time, but Mrs. Nair just always made me feel special. She was always so kind to me. And I remember specifically, like her, first of all, her giving me free time to read books, which I loved. I read like children's versions of biographies. Helen Keller's was one that stood out in my mind. Autobiographies, actually, too. And I remember it was like a little bit dumbed down for kids version, but I remember just eating them up with a spoon. I loved reading those books. And she gave me a lot of free time, when I was finished with my other classwork to read, which I loved. But I remember her saying, if you can name the 9 planets, and this was an offer to anyone in the class, I'm going to buy you a free flying saucer from Carvel. And if you don't know Carvel, basically it's similar to like a Chipwich sandwich, except rather than having chocolate chip cookies or an ice cream, it's like chocolate wafer cookies. So it's 2 chocolate wafer cookies with either vanilla or chocolate ice cream inside. And now I think they make other flavors too, but back then it was just vanilla or chocolate. And I remember that I got that question right a couple times and got a couple flying saucers, and that was really cool. But yeah, Mrs. Nair just overall was just always so kind to me and supportive. And I remember we had to keep little journals, and we would write little notes, and she would write responses. And I remember I found it. My mother, bless her heart, kept it. I don't know where it is at the moment, but like I even remember writing in it like, "Dear Mrs. Nair, I love you, love Carrie." And she wrote back, "Me too, love Mrs. Nair." And it was just, oh God, feels. It's nice when you have that special teacher who takes you under her wing or his wing, and she was that for me. So that's the first person that comes to mind. Okay, I have 4 more questions, and I'm not going to fit them in, and I'm not going to rush. So I'm going to pause, and I'm going to save Beth's questions from 7 through 10. So if you guys have any other questions, please comment them down below, because I really enjoy doing these videos. I find them so much fun. It makes me introspective and, think a little bit about myself. And not that I like thinking about myself. I'm not being like, oh, I'm such a narcissist, I love to think about myself. But, it's fun to do a little soul searching and to like, what would my answer to that be? And just be spontaneous as well. So I'm not looking at these questions in advance. So that's why some of the questions are being answered very awkwardly. But that's how we roll here at Butterflies Landing. #awkwardness always. But thank you so much to Loretta and Haley and Beth for asking these questions. And I'd love to hear from more of you guys. Even if you just have one, you don't have to have a series of questions. But if you do have a series of questions, that's great too. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. I will be back soon with part 3. I hope I get some more questions, and I love you all so much. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll be back soon with more stuff. Bye.